What is what you saying?
Who else is excited about this table right now?
I am, because all girls.
Yeah,
They're not like
that's
that.
nice.
All girls, some single, some married.
Please, let's not bring the single ones. We're already, in fact, the distinction is clear.
Okay.
Okay, the ascenders and the.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're
Are
not
we
like
live? Because we're already live. Now with the live already.
When you are watching for, please go in the comment section to greet everybody. When you share this stuff, they start touching your phone.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, all ladies. The way it sounds,
Yes,
musical.
yes.
It's musical, but some single, some married.
I don't like that. We would have rearranged the sitting thing.
I know. It's been divinely arranged.
It's fine. Oh.
Divinely arranged. Well, we are here in your faces. This is Professor Sudden live chat. Day what are we now? Day 3 or day 4? Day 4.
You just say Ladies' Day.
Yeah,
can't remember the number.
whatever date is Ladies' Day, so we're expected to have fun and have an amazing interaction. So wherever you're watching from, please let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Contribute. We'll be looking forward to seeing your comments, your questions, everything. Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
God,
Don't sleep. So
don't
don't
sleep.
sleep. I
Don't
always say
sleep
good
on
night, but
us.
don't sleep.
Please.
Please
Don't
spam us
sleep.
with your flag, with your location, wherever you are. Let's know that you're here with us. Okay, right to it. We have the beautiful Pastor Amuli Ojekere here with us.
Hi.
Is it the finest person at the table? You know why he's paying me is because she's married. How can the finest person on the table be married?
You're serious. You're not
anyways.
fine.
She's off the market.
I'm off the market.
You're inside the market. Don't tell me back.
They have driven me. They have sent me back
Are
to
you
my
really
father.
inside or you're under?
But it's fine. It's fine. So we're going to start with first question. Tell us a bit about Rita, the main character, Rita. The problem, Rita.
The problem. Was that?
She was not a problem. She was not a problem.
The problem is
Supporting a
progress.
problem.
Well,
Yes, she was supporting.
we
the
don't know
problem.
first, but just take us into the mind of Rita.
Yes, Rita. Okay, so Rita was wife of Daniel Dosumu. Very supportive wife, submissive. You know, she was quite fragile, probably in heart. I think she said I should warn you. I think that's
But what does she want from my
Rise Rita.
Rita's
Rita is
fragility.
everything. She's this, she's that. She's definitely not a prayerful wife.
It's
sorry,
okay
Mommy,
now.
attention.
Seriously.
Ordinary introduction. Mama Ascension has brought back those.
Were you the Rita?
No, I'm telling you, Rita, she's not a prayerful wife.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Okay, so
Mommy Essentials words. What is the Rita?
What is a Rita?
what is the Rita?
I know
is
today is
Rita?
Rita's Day, but guys, like you just know, we're talking about Rita
Yes,
and
we're talking
everything.
about Rita.
But we really don't forget to tell us where you are watching from.
yeah.
Where you're watching from is so important to us. Let us know where you are watching from. If you have comments, questions, you can see the table is full. I don't want to say it's a gender something, but you know,
No. Please.
we are here. We talk to guys, we talk to ladies. All the questions you have about Rita,
We're
we
not
are very happy.
feminists.
No, not. Let me cough to that. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes, Mommy Essential, I'm waiting. No, what is the Rita? Because
what
the
is
way
the
you
Rita?
have.
What
Yes.
did you think of the character Rita?
Okay, first of all, in the beginning, I felt like with the way she was talking, that first scene where she was encouraging Daniel talking, I felt like, yeah, this is a wife,
Proverbs 31.
right? That kind of a thing.
Yes, ma'am.
But then, what is a wife when a wife cannot pray?
Just with your punchlines.
Tell us.
serious,
Yes, ma.
In that moment they were in, it was a fragile moment.
Yeah.
I mean, a time when you both have to make a very distinguished decision, and then none of you could pray. Even though the man was carried away, Rita, where is your prayer altar?
Yes, ma.
Well, I wouldn't. Well, it's you're actually right, but sometimes she may have been a prayerful woman, but then her emotions were louder than her prayers. Because sometimes you can actually be prayerful, but when you are overwhelmed with situations of life, sometimes it look like as if that's not your description. Yeah, that's not the character you're actually playing out, and it will look like your emotion. Because sometimes your emotions can be so loud, your flesh can be louder than your spirit. That And when that happens, when you allow circumstance overwhelm you. So she was just in a place where she was more emotional than she should have been more prayerful. So I think that's what may have happened to Rita. So it's not a thing with whether she was prayerful. You can actually have moments where you're a prayerful wife, and then you're not faced with situations in your marriage where at that point in time you should go down on your knees, take a posture where you should pray, but you get overwhelmed and you now find yourself nagging, or you begin to repeat words, you get very emotional over it, and you leave that place, your secret place, and then before you know it, you get exposed to a whole lot of danger.
Yeah.
I get your point.
You get your point, but you have been how many months married?
A newbie, she's still crawling in marriage.
Make me reach there.
My dear, come inside.
I never used to crawl.
My sister. All right, so we're dealing with the theme of submission.
Yes.
Are we saying that, or rather, let me not suggest my suggestions. Let's just ask to the whole table. Did Rita take submission too far?
Okay, so I want to start with saying that I feel like a lot of women do not understand what submission really is about.
Okay.
Yes. For me, I wouldn't define that as submission.
Yeah.
Let's go down to Ephesians 5 verse 22. If we have to use KJV translation, it states, "Wives, submit to your own husbands as unto the Lord."
Yes.
Okay.
So submission, a submission is you submitting to a man that is submitted to God. It is, wives, submit to your own husband as unto the Lord. So anything outside of the Lord is not submission. Another amplified translation would state, "Wives, submit to your own husband as reverence unto the Lord." I think Amplified Classic would say, "Wives, submit to your own husband as a service to the Lord." So when what you are servicing, your mission is not servicing God, you are disservicing Him. And disservice is bringing hurts. When you are disservicing something, it means that you are going to be exposed to more harms, you're going to be exposed to more danger, you're going to be exposed to more hurts. So I think, for me, I would say Rita did not play the role of a submissive wife. She didn't understand the definition of what submission is about. And a lot of females, married women, are on this table. Now, if you look at the Nigerian scene that was played, Rita, that's the Rita that was not me, the Nigerian scene, she watched the rebroadcasts of fake prophecies about her,
in her house.
about her family.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no case of madness.
No.
When did was it her father that had kidney problem or something like that? There was nothing like that, and she already saw that. This is not even discernment is far. This was observation. So it's not a thing with spirit or a thing with whether she was prayerful or not prayerful. This was outrightly wrong. She saw it, so it's not a thing where she wants to go and kneel down and start featuring or trying to see what's going on. It was so clear. She even confronted her husband with 3 phone calls. So she saw all of these things. She got to Ghana. Her husband sent her money.
She's already in Ghana.
She's already in Ghana immediately. So that would say, okay, she's submissive. She went to Ghana. That was first sign. She has seen something. She has observed. She now traveled to Ghana. She saw another. She saw. I mean, there were things to. There were signs, observation. I mean, so. She allowed herself to be victimized because she did not understand what submission was. So I wouldn't call what she did submission. She allowed herself to become a victim that was finally victimized. That's the truth.
Exactly,
And you see, this is where a lot of ladies need to understand. A lot of ladies need to understand this thing. When a man has left his place with God, at that point in time, your brain should be working. At that point in time, the submission doesn't come into play. You can respect him, but you don't have any business going on that or presenting a mission, because a mission is, I am submitting to a mission. Do you understand? So you don't have any business submitting to any mission at that point in time. What you can do is to separate yourself, because I'm not like, oh, what should I do next? That's the next question that we
about to
follow.
ask that, actually.
Yeah, so what you can do at that point in time is to separate yourself. I'm not saying leave the house. Separate yourself and pray for him. That's what you can do. Pray for him, because
From a distance.
the truth is, when she had her first observation when she was in Nigeria, she had a choice not to go. That's the truth.
That's true.
She has a choice not to go. A lot of women want to save without their children. Oh, probably don't have, because they don't have some things that they are doing. Maybe she's just a pastor's wife, nothing else to her, no relevance, no that extra. I'm not disputing. I'm not saying that you should. I'm not saying that husband and wife should be separated. I personally do not like distance marriage. But what I'm saying is, at the point in time when you realize that your husband is out of Lord, he's outside of Lord, the only thing you can do at that point in time is to pray, not to join him. She observed fake prophecy and she was joining. She was already. When she traveled to Ghana, she was supporting. She didn't have to come out right. She didn't have to say, "Oh, I'm supporting my husband." Just traveling there, she supported. It didn't matter whether she saw that phone, the interview, and she said, "Oh, how well do you know Prophet Kofi?" and all of that. Just by being in Ghana, she was already part of that mission.
That makes sense.
But do you think that I saw a theme that played where her voice was a bit silent in the family from everything from the very beginning?
Okay.
Could that also be a contribution where women have lost their voices? Because in the very beginning, he wants to go and resign. She just said it and said it. The man still did not hear. It shows a pattern that this man does not hear word.
So you can have a man. You see, let me come back to choosing a spouse and then living with the person. It could be possible that Daniel was on the right path of godliness. If you look at Ephesians 5 again, it says, submit ye one to another unto the reverend in fear of God. Galatians 5 talks about walking in the spirits. So it's very possible that Daniel was a spirit-filled man before they got married. It's also possible that before the pastor hurt him, or his definition of hurt anyways, from his former pastor, Pastor Nicholas, it's also possible that he was walking in the spirit. Sometimes when hearts cloud you very well, it takes you out of his presence. Now, it could also be possible at that point in time, he wasn't this stubborn. What was playing out was a man that was hurting. He was full of hurts. And at that point in time, flesh cannot overcome hurts. What could have happened at that point in time is when you're dealing with a man who is in that state, what can happen is that you don't only talk, you also support the talk by praying. Because the man is hot. Words without the backing of the Holy Spirit doesn't heal a hurting heart. So what she could have done at that point in time was not just talk to him, she needed to support it by praying. So it's like her words were just empty. There was nothing transporting it. Do you understand? Because his mind was made up. It's like I counsel. For many years, quite a number of years, I've been counseling, and when people come to meet me and they're hurt or something, I see it very glaringly. This is not just about being. It's not just about the husband, the Daniel. Even when people come and they're hurt, the truth is, if at that point in time as a counselor you don't have the backing of the Holy Spirit, you don't have, there's no penetration, there's really nothing, because sometimes these persons who come and they're depressed, they have their minds already made up on what to do. So the only person that can penetrate them at that point in time is the Holy Spirit. So it's not. I wouldn't say Daniel was stubborn. He was hot. You see, we need to be careful when we're in his states, especially when we're very hot. When you're very hot, your flesh becomes really. You are walking more in flesh. There's no spirit. And when you are there, the truth is you have the tendency, the possibility. Let me not say tendency. Possibilities of manifesting the fruits of flesh. Pride is one. Anger is one. Covetousness, greed is one too, and all of that. So that's what happened to Daniel. I wouldn't say he was stubborn. He was just a hurting man that exposed himself to a whole lot. So where the wife missed it was she couldn't have just talked. She would have prayed, just like Martha.
Exactly.
So Mama right. So that's actually what would have happened. So unfortunately. So what I would say to coming down to Laura's question, what I would say to ladies when they find themselves in that thing is not a thing with the woman doesn't have a voice
Okay.
is what voice is she voicing at that point in time? Is it the voice of flesh or the voice of spirits? You know, so what's she voicing at that point in time? So it's not like the woman doesn't have a voice. Is at that point in time, what she's speaking is just words that are not backed up by the spirit. Men are very logical. That's the truth. Men can be very logical, and sometimes a man, it can be so difficult to penetrate them. When a man analyzes that this thing, there's more sense in it. It doesn't matter how sensible your words are. Sometimes it doesn't penetrate. You just have to do a lot of prayers. The heart of a king lies in his hands, and it turns it wherever he wishes.
I wish we could tell Rita.
I wish we could tell Rita. You
I
know,
wish we could just tell her.
but she jumped down. But she,
I believe if she had probably friends or spiritual people that she could talk. The husband also isolated himself, you know.
and this is why you know, don't marry and be alone. Yeah, don't marry and be alone.
No, but in this scenario, let's look at it. She was not with anybody that she knew. She had moved to another country.
Even before she moved now,
No,
this man was telling
before
her.
we can get it, but like now, where her depression started was when after she moved, not before. Like she said, before she trusted in this man's judgment. Yes, she saw some. She was like, okay, maybe.
No, she was questioning him before.
She was
Yeah,
questioning him.
she questioned him before she left, right? But when she moved, she still trusted in him. Yes, she might have questioned him, but she never at any point doubted that "Is this my husband, correct?" She was like, you know what? He's still the head of the home. I still trust him, even though these things are looking shady. I still trust him. Let me go and see. Now,
I don't think it was a thing of trust at that point in time. It was just a thing with misdefined submission.
Yes.
It was just
submitting
submitting wrongly. She didn't understand what submission was. She was
but
just
we
moving.
can't blame her.
Yeah.
Some people, they hear these teachings about submission, they don't know it for themselves, or rather the Holy Spirit has not taught them.
Yeah, I think the teachings on submission sometimes is also too extreme.
That's what I just want to say. The way we are, even me, the way I was
It
taught.
has become more religious.
God.
It has become more religious than the real understanding of what submission is about. Do you understand? Yes. And then coming back to what Laurel mentioned, the truth is, you don't marry and you are alone. You have to have a community because somebody has not married before you. Yeah, you need to have mentors. You need to have that friend that is spirit filled that you can always talk to. Because sometimes you just need words to charge you. That's the truth. That's just basically what you need. So if she had that friend, of course, the film can't really display all of the realities of life.
Daniel
But
himself didn't have any friend as well.
No, because he was his own counselor.
Daniel was in
teacher, his own
rebellion.
master.
At that point,
His own
everybody,
master.
even people that even called to
Yeah.
pray for the wife, their child,
yeah.
he still found it to say there's problem inside.
So he already had his own mind.
He was
Yeah,
isolating
true.
himself, true and true.
True. So you need someone you can talk with, not just anybody. Someone who understands, some spiritual things. At that point in time, someone who is grounded, because not everyone who is Christian is a grounded counselor in marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need that person who understands that aspect of life that you can always talk to, and the person can, and you have an open heart to also listen. Yeah, because some people come for counseling and they have a made up mind. So I think you don't marry and just marry and be alone. You need community. A community.
Okay. Under the concept of you must have a one friend that knows certain things about marriage.
Or just knows the Lord.
Just
knows the Lord,
exactly. It's a funny question that bothers me. What if that one friend you have is a child of God with a failed marriage?
Wow.
Think about
Okay,
it.
that's a
this way.
very deep question.
So they have witnessed this thing you're witnessing, whatever Rita was going through. They have decided that I can't follow this one. This one is a coconut head. My own husband was a coconut head. Your own husband is looking at my husband as a coconut head. Me, I left my husband. So they are giving you counsel from their own point of brokenness.
Yeah, I get
per se.
it. Yeah, that's
So
why I said.
how do you?
Yeah, that's why I said who you meet matters. So you're not just going. You too. You have sense now. So by the time you sit, of course, she was now. Yeah, that's true. That's a very good one you ask, because sometimes when you're in your state of vulnerability, who you talk to, you may not even have sense enough to
Think
learn
about
who
it
you should
yourself.
talk to. Yeah, that's true. And that's where when you get married, before you get married, you have to pray to really design the right set of person to talk to when you are in a particular state. Because there are people who have had failed marriages, but they have the right wisdom. There are people who have had failed marriages, but they share their failed experience with you. And even people who are even in good marriages, but by the time they have issues with their spouse, sometimes they cancel out of their emotions. And the thing about counseling is, the thing about talking to people is, you can tell, even someone who have experienced failed marriage can just say, oh, you know what, I think you should do this, Rita, don't move, don't move. But in your heart, you are saying something different. Because what you see is not really what you say, it's what you're transferring from your inside. It's more of an internal thing than an external thing. So I would say, before you go to meet someone who whether has failed marriage or has a good marriage, you must be very, because marriage is a very sensitive thing. So I would say that you should be led, really pray, and then, you know, pray. You would also don't also be the one who wants to hear what will pamper you. Because people are like that. They want to hear what will be nice for them, what will be good for them, not the truth.
Or at least something that agrees with what they already have in mind.
So you need to pray to ask for leading. You know, you need to pray to ask for guidance so that you're not misguided.
Before Pastor answers, let me ask Mommy Ascension. At what point, Mommy Ascension, should have Mommy Rita said, "To God be the glory, I hands up from your matter"? Because the way things were going, obviously the husband, imagine if the husband has also, what if the wife had said, "Honey, I'm not coming with you to this Ghana. It's giving
dubious.
It's
giving fraudulent."
And then he's like, "I knew you were my enemy. Now I can see it. What should she have done? And what should she have
And words can manipulate. Some men have
so
manipulated. So you don't want to be a part of this process. I've been failing.
Exactly.
I think that's one thing that also scared her. They had been broken for so long. The man had issues, so he was so excited about this flying.
For once he could see green, no only red.
So to even go there and say, "Oh, this there's no sense there." She
no, that's not
So even your advice can be red flag.
Yes, so at that point you're an enemy.
I always knew that there's something with you. From your Ascension, what
I just feel like during the course of that marriage, you know, there are times that when you give someone good advice consistently, they just trust your word. So if she has been that kind of a woman to her husband, at some point, the man should know that what my wife is saying is making sense.
Saying no is coconut hair.
Then when she went to Ghana, I actually felt she wants to go and, you know, confront him.
Like talk to him.
Okay. Because she saw something online, right? While she was in Nigeria, she saw it on the TV. So my calculation was that this woman is going to talk to her husband.
Touching mirror. This house is
beautiful. Which kind of woman
is not good, though. But she was driving Benz, though. Think about it. It
wasn't really poverty.
It's not poverty. I don't think it's poverty.
Maybe more greed. Is it greed?
It's greed on the part of Daniel.
Then for the wife, what would you call it?
Stupidity.
Hey.
It's not just stupidity.
Yes.
When you're exposed to a kind of level, you wouldn't know whether you really have sense.
And then she came.
I'm telling
That's
you.
interesting. She came and she knelt down before the same fake man of God that prophesied something about
your family has madness.
Yeah. There was no sign of irritation. Do you understand? No matter how honorable you think you are, I mean, there could have just been like, even when the man stepped her husband out, there was just been this.
They just see that you are not agreeing, you are just here because
But she was just neutral.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
She shifted from a particular level, and then somehow when she got to Ghana and saw the aesthetics, the ambience and everything, so she got very overwhelmed by it, and then she already had a bit of what success is like, you know, or what the definition of success is like to her, you know. So when she came in, she was like, oh wow. So really, to be honest, maybe my husband, you know, women have very fickle minds.
Sorry, let me point something out to
Sadly,
people that don't understand what our mom is saying. Let me explain. She said there are levels of riches. There's that level that you know.
Yes.
And there's that level that you don't know that if you know it, you know it.
Test your number 6.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it that level you say, is this God that is down here? Is it the same God that is up here?
Yeah, that
so
kind of thing.
in case you don't understand, that's what we're talking about.
So women have fickle minds. A lot of women have fickle minds, where you can easily just sway them, you know, just deceive them easily, you know, and then just fall. They won't even know when they fall. Like, oh, I didn't know when, you know. So because you know, over time, the words that have been spoken to her, the things she has in the picture, it plays a very significant part, you know, in her heart, and then she begins to accumulate thoughts, and before any thoughts just become, you know, life. You know.
So is it because she saw this whole wealth thing now? That's why she didn't say anything after the man of God raped her.
No,
that's another. I mean, that's another. That's another.
He brought her gone now.
Yeah, brought her gone. Yeah,
they were in a foreign land. It's strange. You know, I've traveled out. Sometimes I feel like, so in this whole country, it's only me and First Lady and Pastor. If they all turn and use their language now to sell us, she was alone in a foreign country.
That you must find an Igbo man.
Language. I'm sure she'll be like, this is a strange language. This man has kept them in a many-story building. He's not brought out gone. My sister, that woman,
I feel like there were two main things playing. Number one, most times when people are victimized, fear is something that makes you not talk. Fear shuts you up. That's the truth. So she was really scared. What will happen? What if she talks with the man really kill? Most of people who are abused, the truth is not because they don't want to talk. Is number one, they are scared. Will I be believed? What will happen to me afterwards? With the person, I had a case I was handling. The lady was abused. You know, she was abused by her uncle, not once, not twice. And the uncle threatened that they will never pay their school fees. Not just that he will kill her and all of that. And it took a whole lot of efforts. It took a lot of counsel, like series of counsel, for her to finally open up to her mom, you know, about it. Yeah, I mean, this didn't happen like more than 6 months. We were on the matter. Yeah. So most times I realize people who have cancer that have been abused and all of that, it's most times fear of what will happen. You know, will the person come after me that abused me? Because that particular man threatened that I would look for her anyway. So those words, you know, in your silent moment, words can be really loud.
Minus words, the way his life was, I trust him.
You get.
The way his life was, it's not, this one is not of God.
Yeah, I mean, for that kind of person to carry gun, what will happen? Make I say, we just jump into my house. I remember I had access.
Yeah, and her husband was always with him. She's not scared for her life. She's scared for her husband.
You get. I mean, see the way he came in at that point in time. If she was alone, so what happened? So there were just different thoughts coming. Will my husband also judge me? Will he believe me?
Yeah, will he believe me?
Because man was already stupid.
Yes,
the way he believed
man too
everything
much.
that the,
So I mean,
the pastor said.
so you can imagine. So I think that's what could have likely happened. Probably like just like Laura mentioned, you know, she was in a strange land and all of that, who she talked to and everything. I just feel like if she had that person. Everything just happened so fast.
I'm going. I'm going off your bestie or your mommy's house.
So I'm able to confide in that
No, but
person.
there's no mention your mom. She'll go back to them. And who knows? Like, you know, when people want to go back to Japan, they'll sell all the property. So probably all her things.
She didn't have money.
That's another.
All the money was with her husband.
Us. Let's not shake that table just now. Make this table shake.
Let's not go there. No, don't shake it. Don't shake it. I know where I want to get to. All the money was with her
Please,
husband.
guys, ask your questions. I want to see you ask questions in the comments so we can deal with them. What are your thoughts about Rita? How far was her going far in submission?
Really far?
She went so far that she flew.
She flew. She didn't jump. She flew.
But also, that flying was not. At what point do you think her spirit should have called out? Because I feel like we underestimate the power of human emotions. Your spirit is there, but the way your human emotions be like, keep quiet. At what point should her mommy ascension spirit have said,
Like,
you can't
I'm
fly,
done with all this. I'm not gonna die.
You are not flying up. You are going to fly down. Like she did down that she just went. Hellfire straight.
There was no point. The societal thoughts are crazy.
They are.
Like, societal thoughts are very crazy.
Do you think her husband could have done better in checking in on her?
Yes. The husband was stupid. A stupid person doesn't have sense.
No, but let's think about it. His mindset. In the end, I really didn't blame him for leaving because his own was, if he's, God forbid, our enemy, that's what you expect your husband to do. Go and beat him wherever he is. So he did what was expected of him. But could he have?
Like when you talk about checking in on her, how do you mean? At what point? Is it when
she was acting strange and he kept asking, "Is everything okay?" But after a while, he's back to the church to go and defend his.
You know, men are not. I kind of. I just have this thought, and pleased. It's just my opinion.
Okay, disclaimer.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like women were wombed to be more, observant around their environment, more familiar, more alive in terms of family, their observation. Like, for example, a woman can easily know that her child is sick.
Yes.
Can even know that beyond the child being sick, there's something about that child. A man cannot easily pick. Women are naturally intuitive than men. So, are you okay? That's the surface. That's what most men will do. Yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm okay. Yeah, are you sure? Something in him will tell him, but she can't strike it. But a woman will strike him. A woman can tell her husband straight that this girl, there's just something else. I can even pick the signal a bit, but men, let me speak it in pidgin. I don't know, pidgin is people pardon me. Men know they quick pick. That kind of thing. So, so it's at that point in time. That's not what I remember. He was in between two main things already. There's a wife who was coughing. That's what he thinks was happening. pregnancy was the miracle. He wasn't praying to even sense anything beyond what the woman was saying. He was also handling scandal that wasn't calling scandal, bribing people. So the guy was and this thing, the devil is a bastard. The devil had so controlled him, his atmosphere, everything.
He just kept from one falling to another.
I'm telling you,
things were getting worse and worse.
I'm telling you. So I mean, there was so it's only, he can't think. The devil had controlled him, everything. It was a mobile devilish tool.
Honestly, he used to drive. The tool of the devil was driving.
So, what do you expect? So that's
do you have any questions for us?
There's somebody here that first said Daniel was just naive. I just saw it in the comments. So are we going to just use my naivety?
I prefer.
This is from Esther C. Kenneth. She says that, in my opinion, Daniel was being naive and at the same time vulnerable. Vulnerability and naivety.
Wait,
Daniel.
Wait.
Maybe
let's go for Daniel's head. Let's take it.
That's
if you've not, sorry, let me just come in.
Are you trying to speak for or against now?
Let me speak.
She's paying.
Don't believe me, okay? No, naivety. If you don't know evil, if you don't know certain levels of evil, you will look at that evil and actually call it good. You will say
that's true.
Yeah. So in his opinion, he grew under a wonderful man of God. Apparently,
he has seen the other side.
Yes,
so
there was difference. Yes.
There was difference. But he had not seen. Let me read something that I wrote. Hold on, sorry. Let me just read something. It says, one can argue that the logic presented by Daniel to his wife about helping boost people's faith with faith miracles, if you don't separate yourself from that idea, you fall for the idea.
It will look like the
because the man also said that there are actual real miracles that took place due to the fake faith that they have given them. God can work miracles through empty drum. Is it a fake person that cannot work miracles? So that's what I'm driving now. Naivety came to play because Daniel had been a witness to both the evil and the good miracles. So he just shut his eyes to the bad part and was like, you know what? This man is a wonderful man.
There were benefits. That was the thing
that's the truth. Because you can't tell me at the first scene in church, this man obviously lied. This is the fake word of knowledge.
Somebody inside I'm just playing the devil's advocate. Somebody inside the congregation probably received miracles too.
Sure, yeah.
Think about it. So he's doing timber. How many miracles took place? Which one is fake? Which one is not?
Is if the man of God did not come out to confess to him.
Yes,
from the
clearly.
Yes.
He
told him his strategy.
Yes.
He knew the truth from the
exactly.
get-go. There's nothing like
There's nothing. Speaking tongues.
Like girl said, I agree that she was
nothing like that.
That girl said, I agree that the money.
Yeah.
The money also played a role.
That was
like he was just thinking of he's so kind.
That's the main
he's so
thing.
nice. He's so nice.
It was so fame,
And I saw Dosumu, not even Dosumu. Kofi was strategic.
Very
so
smart.
after like 3 weeks, he will throw him something. You go and preach for me. This is what Pastor Nicholas
could not do.
Yeah. After 2 months, he will bring something else again.
With that, be careful of spiritual manipulator.
The guy was so. He was.
And be careful of shortcuts. Because it can cut you off from the real glory. That's the truth. And that's what happens.
Shortcuts can cut you off.
We were thinking how the Rema will come in today. People online just things down.
Don't let your shortcut cut you off.
Okay, we have a question from Voke Raymond here. Okay. She says, my question is, why did Daniel's wife keep the pregnancy till almost full term before speaking out that the child wasn't his? People would have said a smarter woman would find a way.
To do what exactly?
She was scared to what?
Like she kept the pregnancy because Kofi didn't care about that pregnancy. Do you think it wasn't for a child?
I don't think Kofi even knew it was his.
We didn't even mention. Like she now told him that Papa, I'm not pregnant.
I think she was just thinking of how she would just not dent her husband's joy because you remember there was a scene. He felt like that was a miracle baby because
he went to kneel downstairs.
Jesus, that's something. I was pained. Kai was painful. No, that the man said, God bless you. Let me pray for you.
Now here's something that I wanted to cry at. After she saw that stuff in Nigeria. And she came to Ghana and he said, let me lay hands. And she knelt down.
The woman, she would have shown us some irritation. Like you get.
Papa, they don't have to touch my hands.
It was just fragile. I don't know.
It was too much. It was way too much. So yes,
Rita is a confused character. Like I can't place my hands.
Yes, no, without pregnancy.
Am I confused?
It's an innocent lady that didn't really.
I can't place it.
I don't blame her.
Okay, somebody else, football goats and goals. What can you post name on social media? Why did Rita just kill herself? without thinking about what will happen to her husband. So in that point,
She wasn't thinking.
She wasn't. She was not
Suicide
thinking.
is selfish. It's not selfless.
Man, no selfish. Depression is a forever.
Yeah,
it's a
that's what
bottomless pit.
depression
Going down.
is like you're in a world of just you. Do you understand? You can't think about other people. That's why I say selfish. It's not selfless. Selflessness makes you think beyond you. So at that point in time, it's just you you're thinking about. That's the truth. How will I do it? How will I face the world? How will I? How, will my husband ever look at me again? Another guy?
And she had already confessed that time.
You get.
But like she also had that in mind. The man didn't even wait to reassure her that he just packed it. I want to go and beat him. I want to go and beat him. She was like,
and then she
I
started
can't wait for this
apologizing. She
conversation.
said, I'm sorry.
Feminist
I
thing.
said, why
I'm
is she
not a
not
feminist,
apologizing
but that's
now?
feminist in me. I saw why they used to fight. I wanted to say, you are saying sorry.
Why you apologizing, my sister?
She was feeling like
It was her fault.
Yeah,
She made it seem as though
yeah.
she caused it.
She apologized. It looked like she was sorry. She caused it. She she would have apologized for not speaking up earlier.
Why would she apologize? She should not have even begun with apology. She should have begun.
Apology might not just mean that
She should have begun angry. She should have begun with.
You think that
I
your
want to
fault? I was
apologize
in
to you,
Nigeria.
but I can't. No, that's the thing about having a
woman
partner
did not
that you
show
can
that she
tell
was
your
a
real
fighter.
feelings to, because that feelings that she displayed was for his sake, not for her sake. Her own would have been like, bros, when I was in Nigeria driving my Benz, nobody raped me. Sorry. Now, they don't even abuse me
The high
outside.
level of rape from
They abused me in your house. Where were you when they were abusing me?
No, she had
How
points.
did
Yeah, but she couldn't have.
I mean she at that point in time when she was making that confession, that was like
I
that was like almost too
upset.
late.
I was no,
That's
I
the
was,
truth. Remember, she was threatened. That was what drove her into, talking. Do you get? Yeah. So at that point in time, she was a victim. Victims always
Yeah,
feel like
they always-
victims. That's the
everything
truth.
is-
Everything is
everything
them.
is
Their
their
fault. I didn't have
At
done
that
it.
point,
Yes, that's the truth. So that's why she
understand that,
apologized.
so sad. So sad.
Now speaking to people, like there are people that will never, I don't know, recover from
ever
falsehood. Like Rita's character can never recover now. There's no counseling. She's dead. She's gone. So there are people that have died quietly because
Unfortunately.
from even after they arrested her husband, this story is not out. Nobody knows what he did to her.
Let's even leave that matter safe. It's assuming she had said it herself, say, I'm not going to fly. They would have still arrested her husband. She would have still flown.
Yeah.
The way the whole thing looks like, regardless of what happened, if like Mommy said, she didn't have anybody to hold her hand. The minute they took that man, she
would have
follow.
still, yeah, she was already on the path
I
to
was
die,
even thinking
yeah.
of it before make Kukuma just fly. So I think there was no at that point. There was no redemption. At that
There was no
point, not
way
like there was no
she could
redemption.
try.
She had personally just written herself. I'm like, I can't deal with
True,
this. So yeah.
true.
And then remember during the ministers' conference or the elders' meeting, there was also a lady that said her sister was raped by police. Her sister died from abortion,
Yeah.
but that lady was still in the elders' meeting.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to drag her head. That one.
Second,
I don't understand.
we should
What
talk
are
about
you
these
still doing in that
second-hand
church?
people. The people that is second-hand. This sentence was correct in my mouth before. Now it's not correct again.
Call it earlier. Second-hand victims.
They didn't happen to them.
Oh
Like
yeah, I get
Rita
it.
was a second-hand victim. Because if her husband had not left Nigeria,
She would have been.
she would have known. Yeah, she would have been.
She was not the original.
So
victim.
people like these that have gone through all these things, whether not first hand, second hand, they even died in the process. Can they come out? Is there a way? Those that have been raped, especially those that have been assaulted by their men of God.
Yes, they can. It begins. The first step to healing starts with openness. Yeah, starts with openness. You can't take that away. Yeah, just something it does. Like you open a bottle of Coke and the gas just pops. Yeah. You can't take that. You can't take that away. Openness. Who you open to at that point in time, the person takes through therapy. You have to go through a process. Healing is a process. It's not. I don't expect that kind of person to get healed in a day. Yeah, immediately. Then cry.
Cry.
Yeah, when you have to some people bottle up and then able to cry, they internalize. But when you get to that point when you open up and you can cry, it just starts from there and all of that. And above all, time doesn't heal wounds, God heals.
Yeah, true.
Time never heals. It can take you 10, 20 years. You even I know someone who was raped, got into marriage, and the whole scene was plain, and it took her years to adapt to sex. Yeah, because she saw her husband as the person, the person that was abusing her. Yeah. So it's years and years, and the husband didn't know that she was suffering from that. And then it took counseling and all that, and she had to open up to her husband. And so openness is the first step. Openness. Who you open to? Openness. I read something. I did a research, and I found out that in the western parts of the world, some persons just take a phone and just start calling. Could be even an empty what's it called, receiver or something. But they just begin to cry and just talk. Yeah. So I did a research on therapists. I can't remember her name, and she mentioned a white lady, and she mentioned that just crying on an empty phone, like nobody, it's kind of relieves. Yeah, just letting out. Yeah, letting out. Yeah, it kind of relieves you, at least to an extent. To a degree.
That's true.
So.
So there's hope if you are there and you've been a victim or a second-hand victim.
Don't allow the voice telling you, oh, you'll be judged. Oh, someone's going to come after you. Someone's going to do this. Yeah, God and all of that. Just on what you should be most interested in is your goal. I want to be healed above what will people say, because many times this person stay in sports because they're thinking, what will this person say about me? What will people say and all of that? So, but when you can rise above that, you are able to open up. Even if at the end of the day it looks like probably you may be judged, but there are people that don't judge.
How do they live? If someone is in a church and she has been raped by a man of God, how is she going
if
to
you are being raped by your man of God, you can't actually receive any blessing from the man of God. Just because you are hot.
Nobody is receiving blessings.
You can't.
It's not possible. Nobody is wrong with the atmosphere.
Even like that lady that was busy in the elders meeting and her sister was raped by the man. She was there. She was just there. She was just in a level. She was no progress. I'm telling you the truth. No progress. Whatever she considered as progress is not progress. She was just in an elders meeting. Her sister was raped by the same man of God. What's the man of God in it?
Let me speak for her. She just came from outside. She heard that they want to table his matter. I
mean, spoke with so much heart.
Yes, my contribution.
Well, let's say so.
Yeah,
that excuse is justifiable. Yeah, that's true. It can be justified. Yeah, it's true. So it's possible. Let's just assume that she came from outside. That's true. But it doesn't make any sense. Exactly.
It's too foolish.
Yeah, there's a beautiful question here. We know we talked about this before we came live.
Okay.
So about Abigail. So this person is asking, my question is, when she knew things were wrong with the prophet before leaving Nigeria, could she not have discussed it with her husband's spiritual father? Or was she just innocent on all levels?
Spiritual father as the pastor Nicholas.
Yes, something like you've seen your husband making a very irrational decision. Is there a backyard move
that is a very beautiful? In fact, I forgot to touch on that.
Yeah, we had the Abigail concept.
You see, the woman, that's the first part. Some women, first of all, the definition of submission to play there, where your husband comes back and tells you words. The man came from the Pastor Nicholas office. And said, I will not end well. She just took it.
That's true.
I mean, nothing. I not do anything.
Like in marriage, have your independent sense. That you're married to a man doesn't mean that you still marry sense. You to have your own independence and wisdom. Just like you say salvation is personal, your wisdom too should be personal. Yeah, so they are fruits she observed with Pastor Nicholas. What I mean by fruit is character.
Yeah, okay.
Is this man really that bad? Your husband comes to tell you that the man says it is well, it should not be well with you, and he just took it.
Yes.
You couldn't even see, you couldn't filter. What can I do? Can I just go behind my husband and go and meet this one and have a conversation with him? Anyway, let's just say she did, but I don't know, but it wasn't displayed in the film. But she did not. But the truth is, that's actually the right thing to have done. That's one of the role of a helper. It's not just about talking.
Exactly.
In that scene, she could have been able to go behind the man to find out to ask questions from Pastor Nicola. So please, what did you,
what not happened?
So I feel she's one of those women that I'll consider as a foolish woman who doesn't have
Rita.
Wisdom, who doesn't have sense on her own. Everything is wrong with Rita. Who doesn't have sense on her own and she depends on her husband for sense. There are women like that, I'm telling you the truth.
Let's be honest, there are certain men with very strong personalities.
It's not a thing with strong personality, trust me. It's not.
Is it male ego or something?
It's not, there's nothing ego or male. The truth is,
No, they have strong personalities.
It's just like someone has helped you. This man was of help to them to an extent.
To some extent, yes.
Remember, I gave house. He gave. Not every spiritual father will do that. That's the truth. So he did all of that for them. So there were fruits of kindness that the man had, at least small one. Okay. Do you understand? There was you were in the church for a couple of years. Then all of a sudden, your husband comes to tell you he's hot and all of this. You were on the dining table with him. You told him, now, he sent representatives. Now your husband is going to meet this man, and then he's coming back to tell you that the man said he shall not be well.
You know your husband.
You know your husband.
You know that
you married him. Yes, you know your husband. You also know Pastor Nicholas. At that point in time, the same way her husband was foolishly defensive about the prophet Kofi, the same way she was foolishly defensive about her husband. What do I mean? When he came to tell her, the spiritual father said it's not where she just took his words. No filter. No filter. You should be sensible enough to be able to filter words beyond what he's saying. Can I find that what you don't know, what you need to know?
Rita lacks.
Although one would see it as one could see it as, because of how that Daniel used to behave, you still see it as betrayal. I don't think there was any point
no,
when
she's not. See, listen, and this is where a wise woman builds her home.
Yes.
Okay.
When you go out and find out from your spiritual father, you're not coming to meet the man and hit him hard and then no, you are lying. No, you have ruined it there. You have to. That's where prayer came in. When Martha was talking about after you have found out facts. Because a man is logical, so you have to know the how. There's a how to reach him. You can have the right words, but not have the right manners.
Yeah.
So you're coming back, you're coming to pray to say, God, how will I deal with this situation? You get, and even if at the end of the day the man does not listen to you, but you just know that you have facts. It does also make you subconsciously dishonor Pastor Nicholas. Because sometimes when you take these words in, the man becomes an enemy to you. But you can take this, we can also filter and find out the real facts from Pastor Nicholas, and you don't dishonor him. Doesn't become an enemy to you whilst you are still friends with your husband. You are still friends with him. Yes. Because future is deep.
It is
very deep.
It is.
So the questions I'm seeing here is like these people already they were God. You don't know what I'm seeing here. My chair wants to fall down.
Give us. Let's
It wants to fall down. Somebody said, but in such a case, Rita's pregnancy, is it advisable to consider abortion or pray God remove the pregnancy?
God, he's not taking.
Can we say the grace?
Can you just because at this point you don't want to kill a life, you don't want to have the baby. Hey, everything is happening.
What?
Abortion or pray that God will remove the pregnancy.
So we are believers, and it is not to be considered in any way to abort a child. Unfortunately, the child came in the way. The pregnancy came in the way it came, but you cannot. The child is from God, but the process was bad. So you cannot abort a child. We are believers. We're Christians. The ministry is a Christian. You imagine if Helen Paul's mother. That's
There are so many children from Rita.
That became. That's true.
If she had, like you said, if she had just separated herself, like not being selfish in that moment, that boy could have been a living testimony of what God could have done in their life.
Yeah, but now neither Rita or the boy are testimonies. They are now testaments.
Unfortunately, very sad. Also sad.
Very sad.
Yeah, and this question that I saw here, people have been asking it a lot about the madman and the prophets. And Rita had the only contact with the madman, and this madman gave prophecy.
They did fly. In plane they flew. In the balcony she flew. A fly is a fly.
So the way they were asking it, can the madman prophesy? Could she have believed? Was she? Would discernment have played? How does this madman make sense to all of us here now?
The madman obviously doesn't make any sense because we see how the thing really played. But then again, this is it. That's why First John, I can't remember, First John 2, I can't remember, says test of spirits. Even when a prophet prophesies, that is not mad. You should test it. You have the capacity to test spirits. And that's what we'll see for back to the beginning, the description of Rita. She was just a woman who was just too physical than spiritual. Okay. She just welcomes every word. And there is no coincidence in spiritual realm. There are confirmations, and you have to test it to see if it's really confirmation. What do I mean? Everything happened in a day. She meets the madman. The madman says you will fly. You see how the devil works. Even the Spirit of God can work like that sometimes. And then you get home. Your husband picks a call, and then talking about the same thing, and then you're remembering the words. You see, you see that sometimes if you're not careful, what I mean careful is your antenna is not well positioned to pick the right signals. That's just a quick confirmation to say, wow, this is true. This is from God. Because You went out the same day, you're coming back, everyone gets a phone call, he gets a transfer. Everything happens so fast. So you see, that sometimes some things are fast doesn't mean it's of God. And sometimes some things are slow doesn't also mean it's of God. So, and this is where discernment comes in. Discernment will always be a powerful weapon in times, in all these kind of times, in all this kind of season, where you come in and like, okay, the madman is saying this thing, can I test? But because she was someone who was not even there, she was just there physically.
The truth is that
this
madman, this madman was correct. This issue now is touching the faith of people that watch this movie. Because the truth is that the madman was right. That's what they're asking, actually. So now,
the madman would not have been right
if she had tested the spirit.
It would never have been right if she had discerned.
So madmen can prophesy. So what we're saying.
Not necessarily.
Not everybody can prophesy.
Everybody can prophesy.
But not everything
is everything
of
of God.
That's
the truth. They're drunk. Have you not seen someone that is drunk?
People just say madmen, drunkards.
I'm telling you. Do you know? I remember a situation when I watched this movie. Since I said I watched it, I think it was not that crazy. So. Do you know, I had a guy that was very close to, like I had attachment to, like it was too good for us not to have been married, amen?
Hey, it's not what you
sorry, it's not what you think. Well, disclaimer. Yeah.
It's not what you
Now, do you know one day, this guy, we were strolling down the road and we met a madman. And before we met that madman, one of his mentors had mentioned to us that we're going to get married.
Oh, wow.
Okay. We were close to getting married. You understand all of that? As I was walking on the road, this madman said, looked at two of us, said, hey, couple! I'm telling you.
The prophetic.
I wouldn't have been married to Pastor Ois today. We have been coupled. I said, couple! I was like, hey! I'm telling you. And I was so emotionally attached to this guy. So I've just gone with, and the guy was really feeling good because he's been begging as proposed time.
So we know why he's begging.
Everybody was already calling us, like, we're even in my house, like this one, we're going to get married. And I had to go back to pray. Like, I was close to it. I prayed there. I was like, God, I don't want to make a mistake. And that was her just in that, no. I just like, see, you know what? We know we can't.
If you're watching
I know those kind of things like where two of you are friends. The relationship have not started, but you're in a friendship relationship.
That's looking like a situation.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Shot fired.
And she said,
It's okay.
Rita does not know yet.
When I'm married in this place, I'll see how come and advertise my ring.
I'm waiting.
Don't worry.
You know,
And whoever you were close, but you were not close enough.
So you must test spirits. You must. I mean, anybody can prophesy.
Yes, anybody.
Oh well, I saw one question here. I don't know how to say, because most times anything that tilts towards blame casting. Let's analyze things independently and see where everybody made mistake. But this is happening and we have to address it. People are asking like, was she not able to sense that he looked like a snack meant something else?
The woman was foolish. You don't understand.
That was so sorry.
No, forget that. See, let me
sense the likeness.
Don't you get?
No, let me play them.
We are ladies now. We are ladies. Not one, so that was not the only compliment. Like the way he was looking at his eye movement, everything.
Was not scaling in. He was so intense.
Let me play devil's advocate. There are some times where
your devil's advocate you always play, so you have to it. This girl.
Well, you're played. Let us hear.
Guys, there are times where they would say, man, you look banging. If not that you were my friend. They are just saying it for the sake of saying, not necessarily.
What about the eye movements?
No.
This guy was looking
men will always, let's not lie, men will always.
And Rita was
this guy was already scaling.
He was looking. Undressing.
Pastor Coffee, I can't help you.
I thought you wanted to help him.
And the Daniel was there.
He knelt and prayed.
And the two of them, they married themselves.
I'm telling you, they married themselves.
He said, somebody call your wife snack.
It was just an angel foolish people.
Men nobody compliment their wife.
That was, he said
But
that
the compliment was extreme. In the real sense, a man will not begin to something.
No man can be waiting now. You know my wife. They will just joke.
It wasn't a one-off thing.
Yeah.
You look like a snack. You are beautiful. His wife is like, he now said,
Daniel need deliverance.
Yeah. Now.
Two of them needed deliverance. Unfortunately, the lady flew. So.
Honest, I can't even imagine Daniel from the prison. That one will not believe lions. They say, eat me. Lion, eat me, please. Like, imagine it now.
Yeah, and you know, this brings me something. Single ladies, you can't be ignorant. of such things. Like, you get this kind of compliment, you have to say, oh, there's something really about
this
it's not even just single now, because this lady was married. She was single and married.
Honestly.
Because you get this kind of compliment. I mean, you should begin to check, wait.
This is not...
As I said, discernment was very far for the lady. Even observation, she don't get them.
Like, even street smart, common sense.
I'm telling you, common sense.
After hearing all this, you look like a snack, all the funny eye movements, she opened the door. I want to check something. Me. No. You will just do. Is that not Pastor? You will say, Ma, Mrs. Rita, you will say,
if her brain was working, it would have helped her at that time. Woman would knock. He said, I can't find the key.
You will not know you're the one that is answering. She will see him. She will say, okay. She will just enter inside.
Like, nobody is at home. Put the phone on silent. Now, so
you know, I also think that the woman was someone who was driven by words.
Okay.
Now, if her love language was word of affirmation, the tendency for her to behave like that is there. Because people who their love language word of affirmation, they receive words without thinking many of the times.
And I also watched a video from a very, very intelligent woman about confidence. About confidence. Situation like this, she was drawing her confidence from the words of men.
That's it. That's words of affirmation. You know, the words from men don't affirm you. The words from God. So when the words of men affirm you, that was it. So she got like, maybe she didn't see herself as beautiful. It could be that's not in her place. So the man was like, you look like Daniel
did not look like somebody that was even saying Daniel was that was a mantle. I'm telling you, she lists and reasons.
Mantle that's dismantled.
Hey God, please, punchline.
Don't let your mantle dismantle you.
You know, I saw a comment on YouTube just now. It's like they thought it's only we give you lines in script in skits. So Mrs. Willow's talk like this in real life. I would have made this screenshot.
Our favorite punchline dropper.
As you can see, we didn't even give her script. We just put counselor.
Please,
and column. She fills it up.
Yes, exactly.
That's all.
Well,
You don't bother writing.
no, honestly, this is such an eye-opening conversation.
Honestly.
Because people sometimes separate the spirit from the man.
True.
If the spirit is not at work in the man,
It's true.
forget about it.
Of course.
That man
True.
is
You can't-
but a man. And
that's
if the
true.
spirit is at work and the man himself is not properly built, that spirit will not be enough. Daniel had spirit up until he saw money. Then the man that he wasn't, the man he did not build up took over from the spirit that he did not finish building.
True.
So both the man and the spirit were incomplete, and that's what came to play in this.
True, that's Pastor Anita talking.
Yeah, you can't be. I'm like, no.
You shouldn't look it, but trust me, you don't want to.
I saw something here like it's wives that always suffer for their husband's mistakes.
Honestly, that's why
So
they are
what do you have to say
feminists.
to
You
that?
can't-
Like they always suffer. Pastors' wives, the man will make a mistake. He wants
And
to
it's
bring it
always
from
about-
church. His
That's
wife will
actually
still
the
follow.
truth. Yeah,
He wants to go and
unfortunately.
Pastor, they don't talk. Pastor is angry. Your husband is
Yes.
fighting this person. You know that does
have
not
to
know
fight.
Genesis. You may even know that the man
have
cannot
to
mix.
fight.
Yeah, unfortunately. And this is just a thing with pastor's wife, honestly. It's just that scandal, when we talk about scandal, is the pastor that is being scandalized the most. So you don't, when there's no title to the man, it's not really out there. So the man is a celebrity. So this is not about pastors. Even generally, for men, for women who are not married to pastors, the woman is the one who, she suffers the consequence. The same way, the other way around as well. And that's why, for women, it's very important that you pray this prayer. In fact, spouse, whether husband or wife, that my husband will not make the wrong decision that will affect the family. Even you as a wife, you will not make a wrong decision. Because the truth is, if you make a wrong decision, you sow a wrong seed, all of you will reap the fruits. There's no, so your children, everybody suffers for it. So that's the truth. Unfortunately.
That last name.
And that's why, I pray daily. What about you?
I pray
This
daily.
one, you can pray in advance. But you can pray in advance.
storing up prayer.
They don't even know. When they say, I pray that my husband will not make mistakes, me, I'm saying yes.
You will pray. Mother will not make a mistake. Fight.
I also wanted to ask a question about friendship because we cannot control the friends of our partners. I wanted to ask if your husband has a friend you don't like, that you are like, for example, let's say Rita was smart and saw that this Kofi head no correct. Should she have distanced herself from Kofi as a whole? Like, I will not interact. Even when he wanted to pray, she should be like, sorry, yo. Pray for my husband. Pray for
Like
him.
we're just asking that
Should
the
she have
sort of.
distanced herself from him, or she should have just the way she continued should have continued like that? What do you
You
think?
can be friendly but not be a friend.
You guys, why do I understand that? You should see the studio people. They're catching punchline.
So what does that mean?
Because and not be a friend.
Yeah, not be a friend. Yeah, I'm telling you, just be generally kind. But you know your heart. This person is fenced. Yeah, because another thing is because women are territorial in their emotions. When you know your husband has a friend that you do not appreciate, you can dispense energy. I used to be like that, and I'm still learning. Actually, I'm not perfect. Just kidding, my husband is watching, and my husband is like, so you know this thing. I'm not perfect. My husband, I'm not. I'm a work in progress. So when you meet that kind of thing, you're not comfortable with the person your husband is close to. You can be friends because men don't also like it when you're not receptive. Yes. When you bring in bad energy, you also push them away more to the person. So what you can do at that point in time is be friendly, be kind, but the person is fenced in your heart. Only you and God know the truths. That kind of, and you are praying. You are just you are praying. All that. So that's what you can actually. That's what she could have done. Can friendly respect the prophet Kofi, but she knows that this man is an enemy, and so she's praying she's praying him out of.
Let his counsels turn to the counsel of Ahithophel.
Mata shakata.
The auction that Anita came here with. Mama,
I feel the transference right now. Holy Ghost.
Hey, please, please.
Okay, let's take this. This one is for pastors' wives to be, because there are people that their life's purpose.
I know you want to be a pastor's wife.
No, I'm not this type of person. This question is not in my category. We thank God. My sister, the man should be very godly, please.
Yes, that's important.
This one is for women, like the word of caution to women that are eager and longing to get married to a pastor because of the platform and privileges and everything they can receive.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
What is the word of caution?
Platform and privileges.
The word of caution is...
I consider it
stress
quite,
heavy.
Honestly, I consider it quite a
some women love it too. They like the first lady thing. Just forget it. Yeah, it's the carrying of bag.
Are you serious?
My bag love
someone has told me that, Mama, this is your bag is carry. I love it. I'm like, okay. If only you know the wars I fight.
You understand? Like, I believe
some people really love it. I mean, they love it. They love the carrying bag, the first lady, kneeling down. God bless you.
The wives pray most sometimes behind the man. When the man is not
every pastor's wife really prays like that. Some people just enjoy the fame, the whole thing that you bring. They don't really care, all of that. So I would just say, beyond being the man of God, know the man. Beyond the platform, beyond the fame, who is this man? Don't be carried away with. In fact, be broken before you meet him.
Okay.
Be broken. Detach yourself from such things, because if you don't, you can even miss out on who the real pastor is. Because not everyone who is titled is spiritual.
Yes.
A titled man does not equate spiritual man. It's not the same thing.
This husband is narrowing down. It's looking like plenty things to cross off the list.
Like,
let's continue.
When you marry the Holy Spirit, it's only Jesus we cannot marry.
No, they are men. They are very good men. So that's what I'll just say. Know the man beyond the whole fame, his popularity. Yeah, he can be a popular pastor, but be a foolish one. So you need to know beyond his popularity, beyond his fame, beyond the platform. Who is this person? That's why it shouldn't be materialistic. So you can design the real material is made up of.
Another one.
Jotting down.
Another no.
Are there some pastors that are not meant for fame, limelight? Are there some pastors that are just going to like wilderness kind of pastors?
Pastor Kessian has to say that.
No, because probably Daniel, this fame thing, because of his brain and the way his makeup, his kind of flaws, the fame thing was not for him.
Not just pastors. There are people who should be out. There are people who should support. You have Joshua, you have Caleb, you have Moses, you have Aaron. There are people that will be Aarons. They can never outshine Moses. There are people who will be Caleb. They can't outshine a Joshua. So you need to know who you are, your place. Because when you don't know your place, competition comes into play. And a bit of wanting to, because I think that also played in Daniel. Where it got to a point where I will show Pastor Niami, so that and it's that's why we need to pray every day. Lord, help me to die daily to flesh, because this thing is not easy, really. It gets to a point where people are telling you, maybe you're an assistant and you're just there. The man of God is one shine. Everybody's like, God bless you, God bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. And then you are just there. You're like, okay, nobody's doing bless me, bless me. Just the man of God. You are the one carrying bag and the tablets and everything. When you don't know your place, and that's why it's not just know your place. You can know your place and not sustain it. Now, the only way you can sustain the place you already know is by being in a secret place. Because when you are in a secret place, it helps you, gives you the capacity, regardless of what people have to say. You are there. You know that is your place. If I come back to Saul and David, I have a lot to say about the two of them. Saul trained David, but when David began to outshine, because it's not just a thing with you being there. Sometimes in the bid of you who have trained someone, you know, the person you can't stand the person shining you. Because the moment when they're clapping, David how many thousands? It was a lot. And so eyed David from that day.
And it was not even like, considering the age difference was a lot. Imagine training someone that's still young and they are doing worse for us than you guys already have been years. I don't think things with you.
And if you look at it, Saul left his secret place. He left the place he used to be with God, his dwelling place. And then he was out of place totally. So that's something we need to. It's not easy. It's not easy. Something you have to be very conscious about. You have to pray a prayer every day. Lord, help me to die daily. In fact, let me come bring it home. When I got married to my husband, everybody was like, God bless you, Pastor. Bless you, Pastor. Everybody, they will all pass me. I was like, God, this is how oh, Jesus. You're just fine, no relevance.
No.
So it's not
but this your beauty finish work. So.
It is by every way.
Every win is a win.
Can we go down to that chat?
Because we don't like all these. Okay, Jesus. Please be careful. We're reading the questions. I'm not guilty.
No, we don't know that girl's out.
Because
it's not ending.
First Lady Seal, if a woman marries a foolish man like Daniel in real life, what steps could she have taken to prevent such a calamity? We talked about this.
We talked about this already.
Yeah. So can you just a few words, just in case?
Yeah, first of all, you to have your own independent sense, independent mind, independent wisdom. Draw your wisdom from God, and besides that, learn to pray. You can't. There's really your words are not backed up with the spirit. That's what we said earlier. You know, cannot penetrate a man who is already stuck in doing whatever he wants to do. So I think that's that in summary.
Yeah. So you got
be more submitted to the Holy Spirit than being submitted to him.
Husband. Because he has to follow the Holy Spirit before you can follow him.
Yes.
When he has changed direction. This question now, oh my goodness. Was there a better way the church could have handled the persistent scandalous news about their pastor? Because people know these prophets who molest young girls, but they do nothing. Like, I know they did the meeting in church. Apart from Daniel, because Daniel was handling it negatively, like background work. But genuine churches, can they call their pastor to order? Like, what do they do when you know your pastor is doing stuff?
First of all, you have to actually when you are planted in a church, observe the personality of the person.
Okay.
What do I mean? Some pastors don't have access. You don't have access to your pastor. Some pastors are inaccessible. They are like, even God is more accessible than them. You know, when I mean access, I'm not talking about going to his office to greet him. I'm saying a pastor who is open to receiving truths. Your members should be able to come to meet you in a respectful. You say, Pastor, I don't think we should, this and all of that. You know, so when you get into a church, first thing you should observe when you join the workforce is to observe who is this person I'm dealing with. Don't just be carried away with the preaching, the message. What's the character of this man?
Yes.
You know, if you take out the pulpits, the altar, who is this man for real? And all that, so you can see because I think that the pastors, including myself, come to a point where your proteges can assess you. Should be able to tell you, should be able to review the things that you do, and can come to you respectfully to tell you this. So that's what I would say. I think pastors should make themselves more accessible to receiving review, even if it's someone who is inexperienced. Because some pastors will take from the other pastor, but they cannot
from their members because subordinate vibes and everything.
So what if the members, they've already done that and the pastor is still not listening?
Now, if you are there, you're in that shoe, you cannot draw from a man of God that is no longer in God.
Yes.
You can't. You can't paint it. That's it. There's nothing the person is before you because it's not just about E.M. Bound says something. The sermon that is transferred to the pew, from the pulpit to the pew, is transported first from inside than the outside, what the man is really saying. So if, for example, the man is dirty on the inside, he transfers dirt, not the purity of those words. The words can be pure, but from inside he's already dirty.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I feel like I came to a gist, but I'm more filled.
Exactly.
Come back to the live chat.
I'm here to receive gist, but the gist gist. I've been transformed through this gist.
Amen.
This question says, I have a friend who's a ticking time bomb just like Daniel.
Pray for him.
You already said it.
Let me attach something. Imagine you're actually, for all single ladies, because God will help us, you are seeing someone who is, and no, I'm not seeing anybody, so it's not me.
I know.
No, I need to.
I know you're seeing spirits.
Because
You don't need to do any disclaimer.
no, because you're seeing someone who, as you've seen this movie now, is displaying certain like is to hear, but not is to hear. It's displaying certain foolish characteristics, but you are so sure and convinced that this is the person you'll be. This is the person you'll be sent to be with. How do you? It's
Anita,
not
why do I
me.
feel like this?
It feels hard.
Anita, I don't know.
Escape for a friend.
Anita, something, I don't know, my mind was just doing changing.
But that's it's not me.
I feel like, because I know you said something to me a few days ago. Okay.
I have no one. I only have Jesus.
All of us are sharing him now.
No, but what do you do in such a scenario?
Yeah, this is just the same question that was here.
Yes, I'm trying to add to the question.
Somebody can be foolish and want to grow.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what
I may not have the right sense, but I am
willing.
teachable.
Yeah.
I'm willing to know the right sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm willing to know what sense is. You know, so if you observe this, that the person is actually desiring an upgrade,
Okay.
then I feel that it's also a good to go. Because not two people cannot be on the same level of wisdom. People may not be exposed to.
The same
Sometimes
thing.
somebody can be foolish and define it as wisdom.
Yeah.
So until the person has an open heart, is willing to learn, to want to glean, when you sense teachability, that's a good to go. That's a good fruit.
And if you don't sense it,
If you don't sense it, God can reveal a person to you, but beyond the revelation, you need to check for the fruits. If the fruit doesn't align, if the character doesn't align with who revealed, the character doesn't align with the revelator, if the character doesn't align with his creator, then it's not a good to go. It doesn't matter if it was revealed.
So what if the character was aligning, like Daniel now? Probably the character was
beginning
aligning.
was aligning.
Then inside marriage, spend
Can't
time.
be.
This also happens, and that's why it says submit ye one to another in the fear.
Yes.
It's a continuous journey. It's one thing to choose a spouse, another thing to just sustain who you have chosen. You can choose
Yes,
someone.
Choose someone.
You can choose a godly spouse, and
then
the
sustain.
godliness.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
sustain, and then also how you the part on which you the part you worked on that you used in choosing a spouse. For example, if it was prayer, you had a vision of the Holy Spirit, and then you chose a godly person. You should be able to still walk in that part when you get married. But people leave the parts most of the time. They just say, okay, I've gotten the gifts, I don't need the giver. And then they kill the gift.
This has been so amazing. Oh my god. I think we should do this often. Someone even said that it's obvious our cups are not empty. So
Let's just drink. Nice.
Also, while this was for the ladies,
No.
check yourself, ladies, that you don't become a Daniel.
Yeah,
That you are not
it's
Daniel
not a
in
sex
your
thing.
home.
Yeah, it's not a sex thing. It's not a sex thing.
Please.
So this has just been our chat on Professor Dean. If you
Yeah.
haven't
Amazing.
seen the
Oh my
movie,
God.
run down to the Winlow's
Yeah.
YouTube
Yes.
channel.
A lot
It's
to
a
learn.
great watch.
Yeah.
All these
A
things
lot
we're
to
talking
learn.
about, it's just.
It's-
I think one has just two scenes and one character.
Exactly.
One character.
Exactly. And there's so many.
Oh my god, you have to rush down there. It's been an awesome time. Beautiful contribution, beautiful questions. First lady.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Ascension.
Ascension. Thank God you
You speak in
controlled
tongues,
the- She didn't leave
Give
the
them
room.
one tongue.
Give
go,
her one
go.
tongue.
I've not ascended yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
no.
The flesh right now.
I'm surprised she's doing that. I thought she was just talking. She was
Oh,
just
shit. Transfiguration.
Once it's 10:30 now.
Yes. I'm back. Sorry, don't be
Oh
offended.
my goodness, it's been an
Check
amazing
husband
time.
and wait.
Thank you everyone for watching. We
so much for
appreciate
watching.
it. Tomorrow by 9, we'll be chatting
Yes,
again.
we will.
And I'm sure it'll be amazing. We
Yeah.
expect to see you
Please come
there.
with your questions.
Come with your
See the
questions,
movie and come with
contributions.
your questions.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
You need to see the movie to have questions.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Ciao.